Hey guys, today I want to share with you my tricks for how to apply foundation on dry skin. Now I already know there's a ton of videos on this topic, but what I want to do is take you guys through a day of wearing foundation and show you not just the tricks for how to apply it in the first place, but tricks for as the day goes on. To keep this video moving at a fast pace, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you guys some of the steps that I'm going to be doing. So to start, I already have on the dew side of my face a very thin layer of the Josie Maran 100% Argan oil, and then in the areas where I'm prone to creasing and lines showing, I used a layer of the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. Now a lot of people have said that this product breaks them out. I don't think I've experienced breakouts from this product, but I only use it on areas where I need my skin to kind of poof out a bit. So I apply it on my smile lines, under my eyes and around my eyes, and then on my forehead. I've got an expressive personality. It's never going to stop. I'm never going to stop raising my eyebrows, and this really helps me to prevent creasing. Then I'm going to go ahead and do some light concealing under my eyes. I'm using the Benefit Buoying Hydrating Concealer. Now I'm ready for foundation. I'm going to be using the Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r Foundation. Now I still have a small size of this. This is not a product that I personally, as somebody with dry skin, am going to purchase. However, for the purposes of this video, I want to show you guys that this can be done with any foundation. Still not my absolute favorite, but we're going to make it work. So on the don't side of my face, I'm using a buffing brush. What I don't like about using a buffing brush on dry skin is that the motion of buffing will actually push any little dry flakes. I really don't know if it's just me, but I've always found a buffing brush to be a little bit on the uncomfortable side. I'm still going to use this foundation on the dew side of my face, but I'm going to use a brush to apply it first off, and I'm going to focus it mostly on the areas where I want the coverage, which for me is on my cheeks. I think it is for most people also. And I'm going to apply it much more lightly on my forehead. Now what I've been doing is just kind of patting this foundation on rather than really smearing it. And that's because I'm going to go right back in with a beauty blender and very gently dab it out. Now what you should be able to notice is that my foundation is heaviest right around the center of my face, and then as you go out towards the edges, it gets gradually lighter and lighter. So at this point, you should be able to see that this side of my face is pretty heavy in foundation. I feel like this is kind of the amount that you may see people use in tutorials, kind of a little heavy on the foundation, and this side is a lot lighter, but it doesn't really look like it's lacking in coverage either. I just went lighter. So I'm going to add some Shape Tape as my concealer on the other side and just kind of pile it on top. And of course it's a ton lighter than the foundation because, I don't know, doesn't anyone know why we do this? And then on this side of my face, I'm going to go ahead and add powder. I'm using the CoverGirl Clean, which is a powder foundation, and this is a mistake that I see a lot of people make. A powder foundation is a lot more coverage than a setting powder, and yet I see people use it all the time interchangeably. It's actually, as you can see, kind of changing the color of my foundation. Oh right, I'm doing this the way I actually like to. We'll rub it in. We'll rub it. Again, for the sake of saving time, I have applied the Anastasia Beverly Hills Powder Contour Kit to this side of my face, and the Anastasia Beverly Hills Cream Contour Kit to this side of my face. Now, what I want to show you guys is that I went as Instagram, YouTube style as I could with the powder application over here. Over here, you'll notice that I drew much smaller lines. Then I'm going to go ahead and buff out this side. And then on this side of my face, I'm actually using a beauty blusher to blend this out. I've tried a million different ways to blend, and this is what I prefer. So I just spritzed this side of my face with the Pixi Hydrating Milky Mist. You can really use any type of mist from drugstore to high-end. And then I'm going to use this Josie Maran Surreal Skin Argan Finishing Balm and kind of dab it onto my eyes, where I know I struggle the most with creasing. And remember that all of this is still before I've added powder. Alright, so I'm going to finish off with powder, and I'm going to do something here that a lot of people are probably going to be surprised by. First off, I'm going to use loose powder on this side of my face, and then I'm going to use a powder puff. This has got to be shocking because this is generally a higher density of powder application method that is suitable for oily skin. Of course, you can use a brush, but what I like so much about using a powder puff is that you don't move around any of the foundation that you've applied. Now, the reason this is so helpful for me with dry skin is that same doesn't kick up flakes. So I'm just rolling this powder puff along my face. The thing is, I'm not really using a tremendously large amount of powder. I'm just using a small amount, enough to set everything into place. To keep the rest of this video as consistent as possible, I've applied the Becca Lilac Geode and the Benefit California to my face on both sides, and I'm going to blend it out. You'll notice that I did a little bit of a different application with the blush over here. That's just my personal preference, to be honest with you. And over here I did as heavy as I could, and I'm going to blend. And I feel like I should blend the way I've seen some people blend, which is really hard, so let's just do that. Alright, that is it. I'm already starting to crease over here, if you can see that. I am going to set each side of my face a little differently. On the do side, I'm going to use the Pixi Glow Mist. And then on the don't side of my face, I'm just going to use the Gerard Cosmetics Slay All Day. This is not a bad setting mist at all. I actually really like it, but it's just not as dewy as the other side. What would be more ideal is if I had a made for oily skin mist, but I just don't. Alright, we are good to go, and I'm going to do some check-ins throughout the day, and we'll see how each side of my face is holding up. So I am doing a check-in at the 6-hour mark. I actually meant to check in at the 4-hour mark. But anyway, here we are. Oh man, this side is so rough. It is so rough. It is amazing how heavy foundation and powder can make you look at least 10 years, if not 20 years older than you are. I've got some cracking going on here. I've actually got holes in my foundation. I think from where I had pushed really hard with the brush. That was amazing. I didn't even know you could do that. And then the absolute worst is under my eyes. Oh my gosh. To be fair, this side still isn't perfect. I'm still getting that little like crinkle that I get from being angry sometimes, frowning at things. I can't seem to help it. I'm a fairly optimistic person, but sometimes, sometimes. It's just always work-related. It's always work-related. It's never anything else. I digress. I would like to update this side of my face, so I'm going to show you guys what I do to manage things. So I'm going to update with the Glow Mist, acting like I have a critical system update. Alright, so just going to spray it down. Then I'm going to add in my little optional trick. This is something that I discovered a year or so ago, and I've not been able to stop using it since. This is the Honest Beauty Magic Balm. I'm pretty convinced you can use something else in place of this, but what I love so much about this is I throw it in my purse, and I never again have to think about how I'm going to fix up my makeup. This just does it. You grab the tiniest amount of this on your fingertip, and then you just dab it anywhere that you are experiencing creasing. Basically, that product is oils in a solid form, and it's oils that are your best friend as a dry-skinned person. I'm going to touch up that little frowny frown line. I don't really have any smile line, that's good. Okay. And then one last step for this process of touching up is to take a tissue and just very lightly dab over where I added the solid oil and kind of degrease it up just a little bit. Alright guys, it has been 9 hours and I wanted to give a final update and also zoom you in so you can really see what I'm about to talk about. So let's go ahead and start with this side. As you can see, my pores have been really visible on this side the entire day. That was one of the first things that I started to observe. And then I also did get the creasing in my smile lines, as well as just a lot of unpleasant texture over here. Now on the other side, I don't have any of the creasing. I do have a little bit of foundation sinking into my pores, and really the only con I can comment on with this side is that it's just not as much coverage as the other side, so you can see areas where the foundation itself has kind of started to fall away. But overall, I'm still going to continue doing my foundation like this because in my opinion, this side looks so much better than this side. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please do give it a like. Make sure you are subscribed, and I do have a giveaway going on right now, so please feel free to click the link that I will provide below if you would like to enter into that. Thanks so much for watching. Peace out, YouTube.